Dinesh D'Souza has devoted countless hours to investigating the left, and he joins me now. Sir, it's good to have you back on. It seems clear that our politicians realize that they can get away with a lot using plausible deniability in this case. As long as it's not too obvious, the case is pretty tough to make.
Yeah, I think that, there's a question of how do you distinguish the scale of corruption that you see with Menendez and that you see with Biden from you could call it ordinary corruption of a politician who has a big donor. The big donor, let's say, is from a utility company or has a business of some sort, gives money, sometimes quite a small amount of money, and then, wants the politician to return his phone calls, pay attention, hear him out, even if not to give something explicitly in exchange, to give him preferential treatment compared to any other citizen. Yeah. Now, of course, what Menendez did and what the Bidens have done is they have perfected the scheme. They have taken it to a level that's, it's almost like it crosses a certain amount of a line of tolerance. So people go, oh my gosh, this is taking it way too far. And with the Bidens, they've been a little more sly about it, because the fact that so far, at least, we haven't seen any money going directly to Joe Biden is kind of the last line of defense, isn't it? All the family members are corrupt. Yes, they were running an influence scheme, but hey, listen, Joe Biden wasn't directly involved. Yeah. That's the current defense of Joe Biden.
The one guy earning all the money was the only one that had no idea what was going on and obviously wasn't taking any money. That's the excuse that they give. But you made a good point, though. I mean, the whole system is, if you really want to go down that road, it's all corrupt. I mean, K Street is corruption, right? I mean, having money in politics, you've already kind of crossed that line. So I guess it's not surprising that some of these people, the worst actors out there that have been there the longest, like the Bidens and people like Menendez who are 70, 80 years old, after long enough, they just say, you know what, I'm cashing in.
Well, you have to look at the motives for why people go into government in the first place. Now, no one's claiming that Jimmy Carter or Reagan or George W. Bush got in it to get rich. And in fact, they didn't get rich. Yeah. But I think what we see with the Clintons and now with the Bidens is people who went into politics with no money at all. And they didn't just go well off. I mean, it'd be one thing if Clinton is former president, he gives some speeches, he makes, $50,000 here, $50,000 there, he lives now in a nice house. But no, we're talking about people going from zero to like $100 million on a government salary. That, on the face of it, screams corruption.
It certainly does. You've got a new film coming out. It's called Police State. I watched the trailer earlier today. It looks fantastic. I want to show just a little bit here.
We want the subject to be on display, doing the walk of shame, full visual impact.
For the first time in my life, I'm saying to myself, am I going to get a knock at the door?
We don't need to have a crime. What we need is a person to look at. And then we go find out what crime you did. FBI!
So obviously we're talking about the left weaponizing the Justice Department against American citizens. Tell us about Police State.
Well, Police State looks at the broader picture. It isn't just the FBI. Mm-hmm. If you think of what an unfree society like North Korea or China or the old Soviet Union, what are the defining features of such a society? Number one, you've got mass surveillance of citizens. Number two, you've got the weaponization of the government against political opponents. Number three, a one-party state, the effort to establish a one-party state. Number four, the presence of political prisoners. A widespread regime of censorship, often stretching throughout the whole society. People informing on their own family members or people down the street. So all of these things that once said, we would look at other countries and go, look, those are the bad guys because these are the things that they do. All of those things have now suddenly crept almost imperceptibly into American life. And so the film raises a very profound question. Is America becoming a police state? If I think back a couple of decades, we were asking questions like, wow, if we do trade with China, will they become more like us? It never occurred to us to say, would we become more like them? And that's the question raised by this film, Police State. It's in theaters next month, October 23rd and 25th. It'll be available later for streaming and stuff. But we've bought out hundreds of theaters, and our website is just policestatefilm.net. Police State Film. So that's the place to get the tickets.
Dinesh D'Souza, great filmmaker. Sir, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.